My partner Reed Martin and I wrote The Complete World of Sports Abridged. Oh, I don't know, 14, 15 years ago, and we premiered it here in the UK in London during the Olympics, and it is one of the great memories and times of my life because I love plays about sports and there aren't enough of them. So I was thrilled to be here at the Edinburgh Fringe and to discover this terrific play, Chip and Gus, a comedy with balls. And I'm not sure how to describe it any more than that, which is why I'm thrilled to talk to the two actor creators, John Ahlin and Chris Mullen. Gentlemen, first of all, congratulations and thank you for wielding your mighty balls in the service of my entertainment.
Well, thank you. Thank you for having us and our balls. We're thrilled to be here, and we're thrilled that you got to see our play. It's the Wild West of entertainment at the Edinburgh Fringe, and we're coming to see you soon, and we're so delighted you came to see us.
It was really, I was looking forward to, as soon as I heard about it, my partner Reed Martin, when he was in when we were in college, he wrote a play that back then it was 45 years ago, and the generic brands were very popular. So he wrote a play called Generic Play with a classmate of ours, Kevin Ruff, and it was basically a parody of the Rocky, but set in the complicated, competitive, horrible, horrifying world of professional ping pong. So, and ping pong is very near and dear to my heart, my family's heart, my nephew's heart, and I'm amazed that a play like this hasn't been written before. So I'm dying to know what came first for you guys. Was it the desire to write a play with the two of you, or the desire to put ping pong into a play, or something else?
Well, this guy came to me with the idea, so I'll let him take it from here.
Yes, I had the idea, and I came to him. No, I was. There's an autobiographical aspect to the play where the two characters, Chip and Gus, or Chip and Gus, I can't. They used to play years and years and years ago, and then they took 3 or 4 decades off, and they're suddenly playing again. And there's some truth in that. Chris was a wizard when he was in his teens, and I, right out of college into my early 20s, I was a champion, and then we just stopped playing forever. And once that game gets in you, it's almost like, what is that? You take shots for it, you know, and you get the measles, or no, the chicken pox. It's like you always have it.
Right.
The love of ping pong is something you always have.
The shingles.
Shingles, that's what I'm
Shingles.
saying. I
There you
had the
go.
shingles. But it's in you, and then if you see a table, it suddenly, you start getting that itch. But I was playing years later at Pennsylvania Shakespeare. They had a recreation area, and I was just hitting with someone, and I made a shot like I used to do 40 years ago. And I turned to this imaginary audience, and I just drank it in, and then I thought, boy, this feels theatrical, standing at the end of a ping pong table. And I always wondered, would this work on stage? And now at Pennsylvania, you have a big, massive dressing room, and they're doing all sorts of different plays. So, Tevye is sitting next to Macbeth, putting on their makeup. And across the dressing room, I hear this guy bragging about what a great table tennis player he used to be, and with that, with that itch in me, that virus, table tennis. And it was Chris, and he was talking about how he used to play. And I said, let's go hit. And then we realized we were really comparable, and I thought, let me tell him about this idea. I said, I want to write a play about ping pong. And that was the beginning of it.
So he approached me with that idea.
And yet you say you wanted to write a play about ping pong. Interestingly, intriguingly, it's not really about ping pong. It's about these two guys who are playing ping pong while they're working shit out, as the playwriting instructors like to say. How was that conscious? That you didn't want to write about the actual sport, you wanted to write about two characters in crisis?
Well, I think I don't think it was ever, let's write the definitive ping pong play. It was about two guys. It was always about two guys.
Right.
One of the original ideas was that there's a character who is just drowning in his own life. His own life is drowning him, and you don't need water to drown.
Is that after you got to know me and I started telling you what was going on in my life?
We really shared our and his life was the perfect sort of lump of clay to carve this play out of. And so we wanted a drowning man and the man least qualified to save him and put him into the same room. And so that's who Chip and Gus are. And it went from there. And we also took one of the other seminal ideas was we wanted two. They're smart guys. We didn't want just stupid guys, but they make dumb decisions. But we wanted major topics in the room. We wanted music and philosophy. So we made Chip kind of much like Chris, just a genius about music, and Gus, a philosophy professor that's the head of the department. And so we had these large topics in the room.
Well, and you guys are both such great physical types, too. So there's that aspect of the physical comedy with you guys not even trying. You know, one of you is larger, one of you is smaller and wiry, and there's that immediate visual contrast as you're running around this ping pong table, chasing errant balls, etc. It was fascinating. Is it like a little bit? And your hat, Chris, is reminding me of Chekhov Marx, and I remember Harpo Marx always saying, when you watch me play the harp on screen, I'm not acting. Is that true for you guys as you're playing ping pong? You're not acting when you're playing ping pong?
I think, yes, at best. We may have two slightly different philosophies when it comes to that. But I think that when the playing of it is an absolute comfort to me, as far as I think I can ride any dialogue over the playing as long as I'm confident about that. I'm fine about that. In other words,
confident about the dialogue.
It helps me not to think. It's very Meisner that way.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Well, and as you say, it's like having the shingles. It's effortless. The ping pong, the actual playing of it feels effortless. And Gus, you barely move from your position at the table, and you've got. Sorry, I called you Gus. John. You barely move at the end of the table, and you've got Chris dancing around, returning things, and you're not moving. That's another great contrast between the two of you physically.
That's called great playwriting. I just use my wrist, and that's how I play. How I used to play, I was like a wall. No one could get anything past me. Back when I was young, when we were all young, but that was an accident. You know, we have completely different styles, and there are kind of they kind of speak directly to the characters. Chris is trying to smash through life, and I'm just trying to, exist and return and I don't know. Let some critic describe what that means.
It's like Send in the Clowns, one who keeps tearing around and one who can't move.
And he brings in Sondheim. Good night, everybody. We're done.
And I appreciate how you said Chekhov Marx. That's well done.
Yeah. Did you? Was there ever a point at which I respected the fact, and not to be too spoilery, I respected the fact that it doesn't end. The play doesn't end with a climactic game, a climactic match. It has elements of it. Were you ever tempted to go farther in that direction, or would that have turned it into the kind of a play you didn't want to write?
Wow, what a good question.
That's a damn good question.
Good question. Great question.
Next question.
Next question. Yes, moving on. We have toyed about having a bigger. We call it the death match. There is a small portion of the play where we play for real, and there is stakes. We hope that it matters who wins, but we not to spoil, but we don't necessarily reach the conclusion of that game. But we did think about having it more, and at one time the title was I think we called it the Noni game. Noni is a character, off-stage character in the play, and that the game was about her or, well, we dropped all that. Anyway, yeah.
Because but ultimately, that's not what the play is about. The play is not about who's the better ping pong player. The play is about things much more important than that.
And there's a really curious fact is that we've never competitively played a game, not one game.
Not even one game.
In 10 years, we've never sat down and say, okay, let's see who's better. We've never done it. It's cool.
Well, and there's something about, and it's getting back to my original point about why I'm sort of mystified why there isn't more athletic competition on stage, because it is inherently theatrical. You can't fake it. It's live. It's happening. And the movement of it is not balletic, well, kind of balletic, but certainly athletic, and it's lovely to watch while you're listening to this really great dialogue. There's this great visual component to it. You've played this play, I imagine. I think, if I'm understanding correctly, you've played it in many different cities, and I would imagine in many different kind of venues. Is it hard, just from a technical standpoint, is it hard to produce?
That's our producer off stage laughing, I think.
Laughing.
Laughing evilly, too. That was weird.
Yes.
Yeah. I will say one thing. It's any different city or theater or venue that we do it in means a completely different setup. We've done it on a regular proscenium stage. We've done it in the round. We've done it in bars. And that alone means typically we have to plunge into at least a little bit of a rehearsal block to remember what it is that we have to do. At first, I think that the idea of doing it on a proscenium stage was sort of odd to us just thinking about it. But once we had a run or two on a proscenium stage, we were like, oh my God, this is much better.
Yeah.
You can actually focus moments, you know?
Right.
However, it seems naturally to want to be in the round or on three sides. Back to the sports thing, just from my POV, it's one of the things that I tell people about it if they've never seen it before, about it from a playwright and actor inside of it, is that I sometimes forget this, but it's preposterous. It's a preposterous thing to attempt.
Yeah.
And I think when John first came to me with this, I was like, oh my God, what a lot of fun this will be. Just to knock around. We would play and volley and laugh and drink some beer and write some stuff down and rinse and repeat. And that alone was just such a release and such a lot of fun. But to actually try to shape moments and things like that around, not just dramatically what's happening between the two of us, but around also what's happening with the third character, the table tennis.
Yeah.
It's rocket science. It is insane. And so every single performance is going to be entirely different in a sense. There have been moments when, to answer your other question about whether or not it comes to this great moment of competition, sometimes, by God, it does.
Yeah.
And in a way that we would have never thought possible. So there are times when both of us can be very, very sort of delightfully surprised by a given moment in any given performance.
Well, as we've said several times about the kind of work we do, which doesn't involve ping pong playing, it's like what we do is not brain surgery. Brain surgery is easy. You can learn brain surgery. This is hard. This shit is hard. What we're doing. And you've made it even harder by the introduction of ping pong paddles and balls and rallying.
Also, I guess that's one of the reasons why I said that the playing of it sort of, it takes the onus off me a little bit. If I, God help me, start thinking during any one of these scenes during this hour, I am screwed.
Yeah.
I'm absolutely screwed if I begin to think. It absolutely insists, the physicality in the game mean you cannot think about this. Just ride the wave. Just see what happens.
The other thing that I really loved and respected is that you would hear to the Aristotelian unities in the sense that when Chekhov's balls are introduced in a basket early on, Chekhov's balls go off in a very dramatic way. And I imagine that's even tougher on a proscenium. But how it happened in the round where we were sitting, it was dramatic and wonderful. And every single person in the audience was there to help you deal with it.
Yes, that's. It was his idea to do it.
I was obeying the rule you're talking about. I just realized, wow, he's introduced this wonderful thing, and I'm like, oh my God, that's the gun that has to go off.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it really is.
And it goes up. When we conceived it, when we thought it and started working on it, we didn't know, is this going to even work? Is playing ping pong going to just alienate the audience? I can't hear what's going on. It's too distracting. So, we took a gamble, and we found the opposite happens. Many people says it draws us in. We're extra listening. We have something to focus on. It just has this, I don't know what the effect is, the parallax view. I don't know what that is. I can't do that with my hands on a but it worked, thank goodness, because they might have said, oh, that didn't, I couldn't hear, but we gambled and won.
It does force you to listen and focus, and I think it rewards multiple viewings because you'll go, oh wait, that was a great play, that was a great serve, and I missed whatever they were saying. Do you ever wish you could, because there were many great serves and saves just on the night I was there, and you kind of don't acknowledge them. Do you ever wish you could acknowledge, like, oh, that was really good, what you just did?
Sometimes we do.
Sometimes we do.
Yeah.
The one time, I don't know if you were there, the ball got caught in my cuff.
I was there that night.
Oh, I had to acknowledge it. I said, look at that.
Yeah, it was great.
And so, but the beauty of it, there's almost something just unbelievably fun and fortuitous happens every night. Like we'll be playing we call it the death match, and one of my shots just ticked. 2 little molecules of the table came off and ticked, and the whole audience goes, oh, it's like they're watching a real match, and one time you hit the ball up. This was some other place, and you hit the ball up, and it just never came down.
Like straight up.
It just never came down.
And it never came down, yeah.
It's like Clowning 101, and we played that for a few minutes.
It's Soyuz. It's up there somewhere, but going overboard. Well, it is a magnificent achievement, and has the script been performed by anybody else or just you two?
Just us.
Just us.
It's funny you ask because a very dear friend of mine, a wonderful actor, I came to John with this news a couple of weeks ago because a friend, a colleague who I'm coaching somewhat, was asking me for some contemporary sort of comical stuff, and I threw him a couple of things, and I thought, wait a minute. And I was like, what the hell? And I patched together a little chip sort of thing, and I tossed that to him. The next thing I knew, he's one of these people who will sometimes on Instagram just sort of show the work. Here's something that I'm working on. And there he is, working on... I'd never heard a human being say these words until I heard Mark.
And did you go, wait, that sounds familiar. I wonder what that... Holy crap, those are my lines.
And that kid won the Jimmy Award with that monologue. No, that's an inside musical theater joke. We'd be happy to... The secret to life is making money and not having to be there. We would love someone else to do this. Just 2 guys who are comparable at table tennis. They don't have to be... We're not that good. It seems like we're good, but we're not the greatest players in the world. Because we watch the greatest players in the world, and they're really good. But
can they act?
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
That's our ace in the hole.
Yeah.
Is,
to use another sport games reference, ace in the hole. Well, gentlemen, it's been a thrill. It was a thrill to see the show. It's an equal thrill to get to talk to you about it. And as I said, I only wish we could do this in a pub, which is why I'm drinking heavily while we speak.
Oh, well, yes, we don't have anything here.
What the hell is your producer doing anyway? My
Well, we were
God.
late. We were late to the
had a cocktail
podcast
before.
here because
Yeah,
we were
we
at a
did.
pub having beer.
Nice. Your time has not been wasted. That's good.
It's so much fun to do. It's an excuse to play table tennis.
Yeah.
You know, yeah, it's a play. Yeah, it's a show. Yeah, we got to produce it, and yeah, we got to find a ping pong table everywhere we go. But it's so much fun to just be in it. There's not a word to describe. You know, the love of acting and the love that people have for, you know, the what did you call it? The shingles that's in you, that virus. You know, it's these two great viruses colliding inside of you, and it's nothing but pure joy.
This podcast is a production of the Reduced Shakespeare Company, reducing expectations since 1981. Go to reducedshakespeare.com for performance dates, actor bios, email newsletters, and so much less.